Well, hello. Let me get the date right today. Those prompts that you hear are because I just woke up and got going in here, and this is the stuff that's yep. Folks talking to me online. How are you all? How are you all doing? Get plenty of interaction with people through the internet. Just getting going here. It was a morning where I was thinking I don't want to make a video, but here I am. A little bit more on some of what I shared yesterday. As a kid, I was very, very, very entranced by what I was able to parse of the 60s. You know, I live in Omaha, so I wasn't on either coast. So, you know, we would hear things after the fact, and then what you could absorb was through the radio and television and books. So I was fascinated with counterculture and identified and still do identify with it. I see myself as an outsider, not a mainstreamer. You know, I'm not a Swiftie. That's not a diss to Taylor Swift. It's like that sort of mainstream mentality. I'm not part of it. Yeah, besides books on black culture and following what was going on with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and then my involvement with the Black Panthers, I very early on read Jack Kerouac's On the Road and gathered that my dad was hip to that stuff too. And so that's a part of my history where I, along with music, certain aspects of counterculture, you know, attracted me. So I get chronologically kind of fuzzy, but I met Allen Ginsberg first off through being involved with a group called the Healing Arts um, Center here in Omaha. And something we did in the early 90s was we brought Laraji to Omaha in concert. You heard of Laraji? I've got the records. I won't grab it right now. But we also sponsored, they're here now actually, um, monks from Tibet, the Gaden Sharts monastery in particular. We hosted them for the first time, I think, in '93. They were touring to sharing their sacred arts, the sand mandalas and the chants. And Allen Ginsberg's Geshe at the time lived in Lincoln. Rinpoche, I think is his name. So anyway, Rinpoche was in town for the monks, and Ginsberg came to Omaha, well, to Lincoln actually, first to to participate. And since I was one of the organizers, you know, I was a host. Um, and then the second time I encountered him was at the Jack Kerouac Festival out in Boulder, Colorado. I went to that, and that was wonderful. That's where I got to hang in the presence of William Burroughs. I didn't talk to him, but I was in his company, walked with him for a while, uh, met up with Ginsberg again, got to speak very briefly with Timothy Leary. You know, it's like that man's brain was like going a million miles an hour, and I was like, I couldn't catch up with him. But I got to say hello and ask him a silly little question about love. Also saw people like Gregory Corso and Lawrence Ferlinghetti and Jack Kerouac's widow at that particular event. But I've met other people at different times. Dick Gregory, I've hung out with Dick Gregory. Um, yeah, important stuff, important times. Mm, love this coffee. So I just want to, I got an update from Discus, but I haven't played anything yet. Thank you, Discus, for keeping me on your list. This, though, besides whatever else I did yesterday, I did play some music. I try to every day. Matt, if you see this, Matt Parker if you, of BPJ, listened to this all the way through yesterday for the second or third time. As bluesy as this is, I really liked this. This was really comfy. In many parts, it was comforting. It was just something really. It's a live recording, and it's just this is really good. It even got me to the point where I was listening to one track. I don't remember it one, but the guitar solo was like, man, who's that on guitar? Man, that's good. That's good. And I couldn't place the style, because I love guitar. And okay, people, I'll get to you. Who is Pierre Cavalli? I did recognize John Marshall drums almost instantly. The way that he tuned his drums, I could just tell. Frankly, I don't never his snare sound. Never cared for it, but I recognize it. This is really good. Graham Collier, Hamburg, 1968. I have good memories of playing Hamburg in Sun Ambulance. When I toured Europe, our itinerary took us to Hamburg twice. Both shows were really good. The second time we came in town to play the show, there was a line up to the venue. It was pretty cool. We also stayed at the famous hotel where the Beatles stayed when they played. Is it the Reeperbahn? Where they played, cut their teeth in Hamburg. We stayed at the hotel. They had the plaques and stuff. They even showed us the room. It was because I was in Sun Ambulance, Saddle Creek Band. We got professional handling through Saddle Creek, and so it's a hotel where a lot of bands stay at. So we got the business. So that's why I'm still in my mind an old hippie, but not in a jaded way. I love the idea of trying to work towards peace and move away from war, which is something that we're back at war. A couple other things I played yesterday that are sitting out. I watched some documentaries. Let me try to remember to share what I watched. This is a CD that I got from the band Dead Hippies. I played a show opening. Well, they opened for us. I forget. But I don't know that this is on the market. 2007 was the year. This is it's really pretty cool. It's real homemade sounding. A lot of acoustic guitars and the sound of traffic in the background. But there's also something endearing about the way this. It's just something endearing about the way this comes off. I ended up listening to maybe a third of it before it was time to take it off. At Dead Hippies. This is from my past, and yesterday when I put it on, it was like, yeah, this is definitely in the past. Brighter. The name of the thing is CD. Is Disney. The Sarah Records label. Years ago, showed my collection, and somehow people from Sarah Records saw it and ended up including it in a mini documentary about them. This music is definitely part of my past. Twee, um, um, people just either in their teens or just out of it. There's almost a embarrassing innocence to some of the words. What I like about Sarah, bands was the music was interesting. So melodically, this is still kind of cool, but the lyrics were kind of like cringeworthy. It's like, ooh, that's some kid singing. It's no offense. It's just like, well, it's like it was like a reconnecting with something out of the past. I want to say again to Terry, thanks for sharing your music of your band Slowly Becoming with me. I love your graphics, and generally speaking, I like the feeling of this music. Very, very people oriented, and it sounds like you folks are enjoying each other's company also while making this music. So one of the documentaries that I rewatched yesterday is one on Kraftwerk, where they incorporated into talking about the whole, well, not the whole, but talking about the changes in music in general in Europe back in the 70s. And I pulled my reissue of Autobahn. I've got an original American. I bought it when it came out. Saw the tour. That was cool. It almost felt like they were talking about, either indirectly talking about me when they talked about the American tour, their first time here, because I saw that. And it was very unusual, them in the suits with the neon signs and stuff. It was really cool. And this album stands up. It was interesting to hear them talk about the Autobahn, which I traveled on touring, and the connection to fascism. What that road was built for, I guess. The dark, the dark, real story behind so much that happens on our planet. It's dismaying to me. It is. We can't get it together. We're gonna fight forever. Okay, so two other records got played yesterday. One all the way through and one side. This is some obscure band or project. Don't know anything about it. Found the record years ago. Yeah, a guy named Dale Stevens. And he calls it Tag Your It. When I came across it, Predator Score, I thought the cover and just the way it was presented was obscure enough that I thought to myself, oh, this has got to be interesting. And it is. Electronic for the most part, kind of on the proggy side. I don't know who to compare it to. It's good though. It's good. Now this is a band that, interesting. It's a band that people take sides on. Some people really find Stereolab boring, and they do repeat themselves sound-wise over the course of their records. They have a sound. It's similar to High Llamas. They take a big tip from Brian Wilson, Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, mixed up with Noi and Cluster. So I listened to this, two of the three albums of this. Pulse of the Early Brain, Switched On Volume 5. I really love the high quality of these issues. Big fat spines, warp, aligned with duophonic. I love this. I've seen them twice, yeah, and met Letitia Sadier. That was fun because, again, I knew what to say to get well, yeah, I was fanboy, but then when I mentioned Faust, her eyebrows went up and we started talking. I love it. I really like this band and really enjoyed this. And they wear their influences on their sleeves, but this is pure Stereolab, and I must say that for me, Letitia Sadier, her personality and her sexiness comes through. I find some Stereolab music sexy because of the way she sings. There you go. That's what I got honestly this morning. Supposed to be having another session with Hank today, and with Aaron Gum coming over to help out with some technical stuff. Hopefully it happens. It was supposed to happen Tuesday, and Hank canceled. But I understand he's 79. He's still working, but health issues. As we get older, it's just what we have to deal with: health, body. So I hope we actually do work today. I hope so. I hope we do. That's mainly what I got. Um, I'm not going to harangue you about my music anymore. If you're interested, you'll buy it, right? Okay, have a good day.